How we doing, everybody? Happy Saturday to you. Hope you all are well and having a good start. I'm so far behind, but let's fucking go. You can catch up on all of it on YouTube adequate. But welcome in. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's doing well, having a good start to your weekends, I hope. There you go. Obviously back. We're back here with session 13 of our D&D campaign, The Four Forces of Nature. We're going to get right into it. What a great opportunity. We're going to get right into it. As always, I apologize if I don't really respond to chat much or if I'm slow to respond to chat type things. Adequate, if you happen to be hanging around, or any of my other mods, if we happen to get raided, if you could do like shout outs for them and stuff like that, I would appreciate it very much. I see chat, I'm reading it, but I'm trying to give all my attention to the DM who put hard work into making this campaign for us. And I want to be respectful to the other players. I think it takes away from the gaming experience if they are looking on the Discord screen and they see me turning my head, talking while muted to like chat and stuff. So not sure how long I stick around, but whenever you got to go, I know you have a busy life right now, Adequate. It's all good, buddy. But let me get my stuff set up here, and we will switch right over to the group and get some D&D going. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you guys at the end as well, and we'll discuss what's coming next week. But for now, let's play. Hello, everybody. Let's D&D it up.
Right. Okay, so after a eventful session the last time, taking place across multiple areas in the city of Daggerford, we find ourselves in multiple locations, including the Cash Windfall Bar and tavern and theater, where an impromptu interrogation took place after the attempted assassination of Kurdan Truestorm at his own birthday party, which resulted in the near fatal injury of our beloved Nelson Marcel, father of Claude Marcel, Brightward ourselves. The other aspect was an action-packed chase across the rooftops of Daggerford, chasing after the assassin, which was recognized by Claude as his long lost friend, believed to be deceased, Niall, the elf, including some incredible shots from the ground and from the rooftop. Logan in particular just deciding, I'm going to take out both of his knees. He used to be an assassin until he took arrows to each of his knees and fell through a building and into one of the shipping yards, one of the shipping storage areas that a different one of the group had investigated previously in the evening. And also some confusion from Bo's part as he decided to use his brand new fancy loot that he won from our friend George, that has already started to create a little bit of suspicion of just exactly what's going to happen here, as this particularly chalice instrument has come into play. From there, the different parties decided that the best course of action was to take the hog-tied, incapacitated assassin back to the Claude house, as it was lovingly coined during our pre-game session here, but the Marcel household, as well as reconvening the group with the starting to come around Nelson Marcel, accompanied by his son, Rickard, Claude's younger brother. At that there, the best course of action was a long day, an eventful, traumatic and terrifying situations occurred. We had a long rest overnight, in particular to aid Nelson's recovery, and the group all woke up the next morning feeling particularly worked out, strong, feeling a little bit fresher, and feeling that they've learned lessons from their experiences so far, to the point that if they were to describe themselves, they'd probably say they're at the 4th level of their adventuring lives so far. So we've got some brand new introductions and abilities and stats for the players, In particular, what I like to do as well is I like for the guys to, they can work out stuff with me or bounce ideas off with me, but I also like it if they end up do having new surprise abilities. I don't get to know about it, so that I can't metagame around you guys for a while, as discovered in scenarios such as Flattery, when the scent of evil stunk up the joint and identified our villains nice and early into the adventure. So with this, we have the dawn is rising. There's roosters crowing, but louder sound would be seagulls because we're at a port town. That's the sound that's probably waking everybody up more naturally as the day begins, and a little bit of hustle and bustle can be heard outside, especially near the port areas. A little bit busier than days before. There seems to be a little bit of activity going on in that area, as well as a little bit of excited chatter across the other side of town. So, whoever wants to begin, chat away. But the day has begun, and Ricard is the only one that is up at the moment, as he can be heard coming out of his father's bedroom, just kind of slowly closing the door behind him as he went in to check on his father and to make sure that he is feeling a bit better from last night's trauma.
Did we? I was gonna say, did we discuss if the group that was at the I'm forgetting the name of the building. Yeah.
Yep.
If we stayed with the wardens there, or if we actually made a move to go back to the Marcel home.
We definitely went back to
that had been decided. You come, yeah.
Okay, so then we would have brought the wardens with us. Right.
I don't think the wardens would have gone for an overnight at the Marcel house.
So what would we?
The investigation went well, but little concrete information was identified outside of the impromptu interrogation techniques. So I think the wardens would have been very unlikely to just get up and go because, let's say, quote unquote, you didn't have much on them.
You mean Cornelius didn't want to come over for belly rubs?
Yes.
No, he did not. He did not hear. The other wardens had heard of that type of depravity occurring in this group and decided to.
All right, so we just.
Yeah.
So even though a murder or an assassination attempt happened, we just let the wardens walk. Is that what we're kind of saying?
They also had to remove the body of Delilah Brunswick, as we know, who was killed during the attack.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been one of the reasons they would have been particularly unlikely to go with you, because otherwise their fellow warden would have been just left lying on the ground.
Okay, so as wardens, would we say that they have some kind of do they have like a couple soldiers that typically walk around with them, or that they could have gotten there to escort them back to their different places?
Yes, let's say that was the case.
Okay, perfect.
Especially in reaction to the death of Delilah Brunswick, there might have been a little bit of almost like a security lockdown type procedure kicked in.
Okay,
they would have been escorted back.
All right, well then I'm good walking away from that situation. Come back to, if we were just like, oh hey, you guys almost got assassinated, you didn't tell us anything. Go ahead, walk yourselves home. I'm sure it'll be fine in the streets of the city. That's what I was thinking that we just did. I was like, I don't know if that's how we handled it, but yeah. So if some more soldiers came and we knew that they had a little bit of a protective crew taking them home, then I'm fine with us having traveled back to the Marcels. We might have got back a little bit later than everybody else, but we still got in and just kind of Tommy just kind of crashed in the corner and went to sleep.
Okay. So Tommy, are you waking up, or you're downstairs? You sort of crashed on a downstairs sofa or armchair? What do you?
Yeah, Tommy would have. He would have had a decent sleep, but would have got up, and he's probably out front on the porch, just kind of leaning against a banister, thinking, "Oh, yeah. I thought we lost you for a second."
Just gonna plug in my laptop. Give me 1 second.
No problem. All right, so let's do a Tommy monologue. As the sun rises on the day, Tom, no, just go into a 5-minute monologue to spare him what is thinking. And end of monologue. Oh, you missed a DM. I gave this beautiful, brilliant Tommy monologue while you were plugging things. Oh,
here's 10 inspiration.
It was.
As an apology.
Yeah.
That's such a Tommy thing to do.
Yeah. Tommy's very much. He's leaning against the banister, just kind of looking out on the street, just kind of people watching, but very much thinking of all the events that happened last night. Both the assassination attempt, his little bit of unease with his current group as well, and just kind of those thoughts while he just kind of people's watch going up and down the street.
So you would be sort of the one that's kind of leaning out and noticing that there's a little bit of activity around the port area, which you can kind of see going on. You don't have that perspective of the comparison of it being busier from the last day, so it doesn't really stand out to you being busier.
Okay.
Just because you don't have that perspective. But also out probably a little bit further down, a couple of streets away, you can start to see a little bit of hustle and bustle, and some people kind of dashing away in that direction as part of almost the equivalent of like an early morning rush hour. But they're not kind of sticking to the main street that's outside that tavern. There seems to be something kind of catching people's attention and running off down a bit of a side street.
Okay. Tommy clocks it, but he's staying on the porch for a moment.
You would also probably be the one that kind of just hears the door closing of Rickard coming out of Nelson's room.
Okay. Is there around like the front door? Is there any like windows, or is it just like a solid front door that I couldn't like see in?
The front door would be pretty solid.
Okay, then
sort of the banister area you're sort of saying about. I almost kind of think of almost like the equivalent of like a French window type style. You can kind of lean onto it and you kind of look out to it in that sort of direction. Still out the front, so it's not quite the front door. It's more like slightly off to the side.
Okay, Tom is still just standing on the front porch, but he can clock the sound behind him and doesn't turn towards it. He's still just hanging out front.
Cool. Who is next? Waking up from their slumber or meditation?
Vlad's probably already up and just like because he didn't sleep well, he's down in the holding or wherever they're keeping Niall.
Yeah. So
just pondering.
The closest thing that you're going to get to a holding cell probably within your house would be the downstairs pantry, which is just off the kitchen. So that would be where you and Niall basically have been throughout the night.
Did we Harry Potter him? Did we stick him in the cupboard?
Underneath the stairs.
Yeah. So it's almost like you call it the pantry because this is your house and you know it. Other people will be like, "This is a pretty nice basement," but because it's your house, because it's your house, you just call it the pantry. You're used to it. If anyone else walked in, goes, "Wow, this is actually kind of bigger than my apartment." In most cases, so it's just the pantry to you.
Can I do any sort of? I'm wondering if I can do a check like either Arcana or Medicine, or if you have a suggestion just to like.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like zombification or like what effect is at play here.
Okay. Cool. Why don't you do both? Right? Because you're really you're basically exploring multiple options. It's not like, in real life, you don't only have time to just ask one question in this scenario. You've kind of been pondering this throughout the night. So I know these are going to be good rules by that reaction. So
we're getting them out of the way early.
Yeah. Okay.
Arcana was a 7 and Medicine is a 3.
Okay. Arcana's never really your sort of strong point anyway. You were probably looking for some of the more obvious signs of Arcana, as if there's like glowing emblems and any of that sort of stuff. Because there isn't any obvious signs, almost kind of storybook obvious signs of Arcana, you don't pick up on anything. When you check in for medicine, probably the only sort of thing you would know about is obviously more injuries and things. So you go checking for a pulse, and you don't feel a pulse, but you don't know if there's no pulse or if you're checking pulse badly.
Okay, one more thought I had.
Yep.
Can I think I want to use my religion because I'm actually strong in that. Can I look for the influence of a god, some sort of divine
Yeah, of course.
interaction? So that one came out a little bit better. That's 22.
Cool. What sort of sign? You tell me a little bit. What would it look like if someone was under the influence of a god, or if there is a divine religious ability involved in this?
I would think that both being of the paladin persuasion, I could sense maybe an aura, maybe a tinge, kind of like when I smell evil. Maybe I can smell an aura or sense that aura.
Yeah. So probably when you almost kind of focus in, almost like a mini meditation in this thing, probably the closest you're almost sensing is life signs. You're almost kind of tapping into his natural energy. This ability that with it being religion, is it of this world or is it of another world, etc. In that sense, you can almost in your head a slight sound catches your head, catches your ear, your mind's ear, if that makes sense, and at an extremely reduced rate, you pick up a pulse. Like at the point, it's like you're like, "What is that sound?" And then there is a rhythmic to it, but it's very, very delayed, and there's large gaps in between it. So the closest thing you can sense is an extremely slow pulse.
And this is separate from his life force. Like I sense an extra.
No, I would say it's part of him. So while there isn't necessarily a religious or divine influence upon him, you're able to sense that he is not. I don't know what's the way to say. Obviously dead, if that makes sense, because there's clearly something in there that's causing the functions, etc. that's in there.
So I can tell he's not undead. He hasn't been killed and resurrected, or at least to my knowledge.
You can tell, like maybe he has been, and maybe because you're trying to come up now with reasons of why he would have this extremely slow heart rate. Is it an artificial type heart rate, etc.? So it's just there isn't like a quote unquote he's under the influence of X god or he's under the influence of Y spell, etc. But you know that he's not dead.
Bo would like to make his appearance and with our captor come down and take an interest in that.
Captor, okay, cool. So Bo, you're entering. You're entering the pantry.
Sorry. Yeah.
So you basically got told by Claude, "Don't worry, I'll watch," and I'm just going to go down to the pantry and check him out. And you just think, "Oh, that's a pretty narrow space. Is it going to be big enough for the two of them to fit?" But then you enter what he calls the pantry.
Wow, this is quite the pantry, sir.
Is this not what your house looks like?
Yeah, no, not at all. I grew up in a little backwater town, a little 2-room hut.
Yeah, so Claude's focused. He knows you're there. He says good morning, but you can tell he's just kind of like racking his brain.
If anything, Claude, when Bo walks into the room, that same sort of religious life force type investigation that you've conducted, in comparison to Bo, that's the real stark difference that's allowing you to identify this is what Bo's life force almost kind of sounds like, and then this other sound or intensity of it significantly less reduced with Niall. So
have you gotten anything out of him? Did you figure anything out?
I know he's alive. He's not dead. I can sense a life force.
Is he conscious? Can I do it? Let's see.
Is he
Nah,
conscious?
Not well. He's not stirring.
he's not staring, so his eyes are closed. Can I do a
Sorry, not stirring.
stirring?
Moving.
What is he staring?
He's not stirring. He's mixing. He's...
Shaken, not stirred.
I'm gonna try to rile him up, like give him a little shake to see if I can. I'm gonna stir him. Give him a little
Okay,
shake
cool.
on the shoulder, like just like a couple nudges. Like, hey,
Cool.
now,
Claude, how did you tie him up? Tell me how he's tied up.
classic.
He's probably bound at the feet, like his feet are together.
Yeah.
And then I guess hands behind the back makes the most sense because we don't have like manacles or shackles on the wall.
Is there anything between like his back and his hands? Like is the hands around the back of, like, is there like a pole or anything in there that his hands are around the back of that, or is it literally just behind his back?
I would maybe the hand bindings and the leg bindings are tied together. They're not. He's not like arched, like they're not pulled tight, but just so that the
Is he on like a chair or anything? Is he just on the floor?
Probably on the floor.
Nice.
50
Classic
Shades of Claude
prisoner.
going down in that room.
Thinking on the spot, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a pantry, because clearly pantries don't have furniture. So, Bo, we don't know what your pantry is like at home, how much furniture is in there, but there's no furniture in here. And it's just he's tied on the floor. He's basically sitting down, maybe up against like a box or something, and his hands are out of your sight behind his back, and his legs and his basically thighs are tied together.
Doesn't seem dangerous. I'm gonna go give him a stir. I'm not gonna do. I mean, that's like I want to see if he's conscious, awake, alive. I don't know.
Okay, cool. He was lying there, like very, very straight, and just the moment you touch him, just a very sudden boom, like eyes, boom, straight open. No stirring, no grogginess, nothing like that. Almost just like the light switch, the on button was pressed.
Yeah. Well,
but he's not looking at you. He's looking straight at Claude.
Straight at Claude.
Straight at Claude, but you don't know if it's because it's Claude or if it's because Claude is directly in front of him and he was looking that way and the eyes are open and they're in that direction.
Well, glad to see he's still alive.
I think we checked his pockets before we took him in.
Yeah, I got his daggers and his machete.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So who do you work for? Should we go into straight interrogation mode, Claude?
Yeah, we might as well. Yeah, ask him questions if he's conscious.
Yeah. Like.
Ask away.
Me? All right, sounds good.
Oh, you started. I didn't interrupt.
Yeah. How's it going?
I know a really good interrogator. He's upstairs.
Hold on, I gotta.
Boom! Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. The glass breaks. Stokel, Steve Austin, Telemus comes walking in.
No, tell if he walked in, would be like the glass would break, but then you just hear the bells jingling as his hat. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, cool. So, Bo, you basically want to start your questioning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now, what? I'm Bo. Nice to meet you. I wouldn't say nice to meet you. What? What?
Not nice to meet you.
Is that actually what he's saying?
No.
Because I don't think Niall's ever. I have not heard Niall say a word yet. So
no, you haven't.
I'm gonna ask. So Niall, who do you like? What's going on? Do you want to come clean? What are you doing?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Basically persuading him to actually talk to you.
It's a 16 plus 8, so that's a 24.
Cool. You do catch his attention.
Yeah,
he looks at you. And he opens his mouth. There's no tongue in his mouth.
There's no tongue in his mouth. Okay, well, that's interesting. So now that I do that,
As
now that I
the
know
DM,
that,
as the DM, enjoy that interrogation.
yeah. Well, check this out.
Can Rian and Tobin walk in at this point?
Of course you can.
Wh-
Yeah. So right at the moment that Niall's mouth opens and Bo is just looking into this gullet, this patchwork face, this gullet. There's no tongue in there. Teeth are still there, but you almost get the sense that there's almost like a random assortment of teeth
Yeah.
in there. And right as you're about to react to that, Tobin, you can hear him come down the stairs, runs away very slightly from Rain just because now the smell of food's everywhere. Like, I was like, oh my god. Oh, every single box, everything that he's looking at, before he even notices Bo and Claude and Niall on the ground. So Rin, you enter the pantry.
Good morning, everybody. We're just looking for breakfast. I don't know what's going on down here. I'm just like questioning this body on the floor and
Yeah.
curious why you're staring into its mouth.
Well, if you notice, there's not much in his mouth, and it's not going well because he doesn't seem to have a tongue.
What's not going well?
Well, can't really do much of an interrogation without a tongue. I mean, I might be able to try something, but I don't know if you have any ideas of getting information out of
I think
him.
I can help out here. I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts and touch his forehead, Niall's forehead, and
Yeah.
my other hand up to here and tell Bo. Well, first I'm gonna wait and see if there's any thought here.
The first thing you
Just
like, so Rian basically, so Niall is still looking directly at Bo, hasn't even registered you at all. His mouth is open, there's no tongue in there, and you basically slowly approach. Rian has decided to never ever learn her lesson to keep touching stuff. And and the moment your fingertip makes contact with his forehead, you just hear screaming, like outrage, like incredible, massive amounts of screaming and noise, and things being shouted, and orders being given, and screams of pain, and different types of pain, and trauma and terror, and every so often you get little glimpses of Claude's voice, but like a slightly younger Claude voice in the background. But anytime something comes close to a happy thought, it's immediately replaced by screaming and sheer volume and a wall of sound that basically attacks your head, like, but just headache wise. Don't worry, you're not taking damage just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet. But that's what you get with Detect Thoughts.
For Rian, that sounds like a Tuesday.
I was about to say, like, I flinch a little, but I just wait and see if I can find anything in there that's useful. But it doesn't sound like there's any sort of order to these thoughts.
Yeah, at the moment, probably the thing that's kind of catching close to you, because you still don't know the full sort of situation with Claude and who this Niall is. You have a little bit more of a can join the dots because you were there when you saw Claude have that moment of recognition whenever the assassin mask slipped off. So you were right there seeing that. So you've got a little bit of extra context in there. And obviously you've only known Claude for a little while, so it's more mannerisms and things that pick up on why this is a younger Claude voice in there. And you're hearing other voices like a very young Rickard, Nelson Marcel, but every time anything like that comes up, just screaming and volume and this wall of noise and terror and pain just overwhelms any of those thoughts. Yet on the outside, nothing's happening. That's probably as much of a juxtaposition for you.
How are you?
This is going on. Yeah.
How are you reacting to that, Rian?
I had a slight flinch, but now I'm gonna take my hands away and just look to Bo and Claude. Like, I don't think there's much left of this man.
What was in there? Would you?
What did you hear?
Rian just takes a moment to decide if she wants to give them
Traumatized again.
any sort of understanding that I know what this is, but just it was just he's been through a lot, is what Rian will say. But I did catch what sounded like, what, your family?
Yeah, Niall. He
It
traveled
seems like
with us.
you know this man.
Yeah, he traveled with us for years. He was part of our merchant guard. He's the reason that I became a paladin. I trained under him. This is not him. Whatever he is now, this is not Niall. It's like, did he say anything at all? Did you hear any thoughts?
Any coherence other than that?
He's just been through. He's in his own hell right now. I don't know that we'll ever get him back out.
I wonder if he. So, out of character, real quick. I have, with this level up, the cantrip message, which I'm allowed to point my finger out and only, yeah.
Yep.
It works through magical silence, so I don't think you necessarily need a tongue to communicate with it. So I'm going to try to use that with him.
Yeah, very good.
So I'm deciding whether I want to use my loot or not with it.
It's like I created a human puzzle for you guys to solve. Very good.
So I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna point at Niall. So Niall, I'm gonna. Well, sorry. I'm gonna tell. All right, Claude, Ryan, I'm gonna try something now, and point at him, and I'm gonna whisper it so they can't necessarily hear what I'm gonna say. Is just like, is Niall. You've worked with Marcel's.
Just as you say the word Nile and you're about to cast that spell, you hear a little sound in your head that just goes jealous.
And then I put my finger down and I'm gonna pull my loot out and I'm gonna point my loot at him. Like the head of the loot.
Message through song.
Strum.
Yeah.
And whisper, now you've worked with Marcel's and Claude intimately. They care for you. Can you tell us who did this? Like, who did this to you? Do you want me to roll my duel?
Do. I want you to roll a 2D8,
2D4.
2D8.
2D8?
Yep.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of
D4 before. You must have came up with
more. No. There was always.
Then I must have been wrong. That's 15.
Never say that to your face.
An 8 and a 7.
Okay, fantastic. Cool. So in this. Yeah. Okay. 15. Yeah. In that moment, you have.
Let's see what happens.
I have to say that this is incredibly well timed.
Yes. Narrative.
So, yeah, narrative. You hear a slight whisper in your head, and it goes, "Lyrical genius." Okay.
Kanye West.
Yeah, lyrical genius. Because what you find now, Bo, is you have an incredible compulsion that every sentence you say from now on for the next minute must rhyme.
Oh, all right. Is it after? Is it after I set, or is it as soon as I point the loot and begin the message?
We'll let you get your first message off because that's when you're kind of casting the spell. So make your first one count because for the next minute you're rhyming.
Okay, so it was that. It was what I was trying to.
Sorry. Repeat that because I jumped in.
Oh yeah, Niall. You've worked with Marcel's and Claude intimately. They care for you. In the past, it seems. Who did this to you? So who did this to you?
And in that moment, you hear fluctuations in even his mental voice volume as you're going along, and it says, "So, yes, I raised Claude. You know, he was my warden. We worked extremely closely with Cornelius Dramere, who is the head of the order, and on one training mission, Claude had decided and told me that he had confided that he was not going to be taking over the family business and was looking to dedicate himself towards the paladin life. I was extremely proud of his decision. I knew this would be a very, very tough decision for him. And from there, I knew that he needed to start doing some more training on his own. However, not long after Claude left, I was sent on a mission for the Order. I found myself near a pirate town. I was looking for a ship called the Howling Boar, when all of a sudden the lights went out and I've never been the same again. So that's the last thing he remembers. So he's giving you an indication of where he came from, why he was alone at the time that something happened, and then bang, out. And he's never been the same since.
I'm really glad that he had a coherent sentence and I didn't just get screams. Okay, so how am I going to communicate this with
Yeah,
him?
I decided not to shout and whisper the whole of that. Because I know you have a lyrical genius task ahead of you now.
Yeah. So, comes out of it.
Yep.
Red fish, blue fish.
Yeah, right.
You just do the mumble rapper thing and just make up a same sound. It goes like da 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 da. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
and just like yeah. Okay. Any more questions, Bo?
I hold on.
So
Sorry.
this one doesn't have to. This one doesn't have to
Okay.
rhyme.
It's
The
everything-
next
okay.
one will rhyme with this one. Yeah. Okay. Because you haven't started yet.
Oh, okay. Then, so he went to the Howling Boar.
Just don't end your sentence with like orange or something.
Right.
Was the ship orange, silver?
So you went to the Howling Boar. Who sent you on that mission?
I'm writing down the word mission. Okay. Cornelius Durmere. He's the one that gives the orders. He's the one that sent me to find the Howling Boar, but he promised that he would tell me why we were beginning this investigation. But he seemed very uncertain of himself and very unsure. Basically, just to go there and scout and see what I could find.
Was this a I don't know what I'm trying to ask. So
Yeah,
okay,
plus you
so
got to rhyme
Cornelius
with the word
Dormier
mission.
I mean, we've got a location.
yeah. Oh,
Well, Bo
Yeah.
has a location, but if he's going to tell, but if he's going to tell anybody,
mission.
he's got to
yeah.
find a pretty clever way to tell it.
Well, we don't have the location. We just know he went to the Howling Boar. So
he went looking for it. Yeah, yeah.
And I asked him what the mission was. So I got to rhyme mission. Are you acting of your own volition?
Get inspiration dice for that one. That was a really, really good one.
That
was a really good one. Love it. Okay. So acting my own volition. No, I had orders, and I followed them. And I had found the location of the boar. As it turns out, it's a regular visitor to Daggerford. And I just started to see a large individual making his way off the ship when the lights went out.
Niall, I appreciate your time.
I will let you do rhyming in sets of 2, okay? So you don't have to keep rhyming with mission. It's like AA, it's like AA, BB, CC. You can do that style of rhyming.
Yep.
Okay.
Niall, I appreciate your time, and I hope to settle this. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I hope to settle this crime.
Settle this crime. Okay, very, very good. Okay. And at that, you can basically start to see your connection with Niall's mind. It's starting, like you'd been able to pick up some information, but the sheer severity and the fluctuation of the voice tone, etc., had been getting very, very severe as more and more sort of shouts of pain and terror and things out there all started to kind of come in, even to your messaging part with that there. All this time, his facial expression has not changed in the slightest.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing he's done is close his mouth.
Well, that's good. His breath was starting to stink. This really makes our conversation fun, huh? So I think I got. So I looked at Claude, and so I got a bit of lore. Turns out he went to the Howling Boar.
Nice. The Howling Boar is that was the dock, right? Claude's getting a little worked up. That was the ship. That was the symbol we found, right?
Yeah, that was the ship with the dock. Now we have to find.
Feel like you're on the clock now?
Yeah. I feel like I'm on the clock. I don't. That was the ship at the dock.
You're good.
Hey.
Good.
I know. No, it's fine. I'm not embarrassed. I just don't. I'm just.
Yeah.
Something with clock.
Ship with the. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Just say you're on the clock. You feel like you're on the clock.
I feel like we're on, and right now I feel like we're on the clock.
It's like we're gonna have to.
I said it. I wasn't actually telling you for time pressure. I was trying to give you an
like, yeah, it feels like we're on the clock to find it. Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna find that captain's cut. Never mind.
Rian's just gonna give you a little side eye.
Who?
Boar, dock, clock.
Bo.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, Bo.
Like, yeah, like, why are we having a rhyming interrogation?
Pitching onto it.
You started doing
Claude,
like that.
Have you picked up on the rhyming, or are you too focused?
He's too focused. If anything, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's like a rhythm in the back of his head. He doesn't really consciously.
Okay.
The Howling Boar was something that had to do with Tommy?
He recognized it for sure.
We should grab him.
Bo, Tommy, do you want to go find?
Talk to him.
Or Bo and Rian, do you want to go find Tommy? And I'll go find Tell. I don't know if he's up yet. I think I saw Logan, or I heard Logan get up.
Bo gives a thumbs up.
I can get up from the screaming earlier, and I'm like heading that way. I'll head in there.
Claude's gonna go intercept Tell, or he's going to wake him up and probably hits him on the way. Is that all right? Not hit him, but runs into him.
Punch right in the face. What's up?
I'll bob and weave.
Just in your sleep.
So,
grab a sausage from the pantry shelf and hand it to Tobin and go find Tommy.
Tobin's loving it. Rian, do you want to ask Bo anything before Claude leaves?
I don't think so.
No, cool. Bo, you no longer feel like you need to rhyme anymore.
Great. Appreciate it.
That's a
Rian
OCD.
Rian didn't pick up the opportunity to really drop him in. Give me another rhyme. Rhyme for me.
Rhyme, boy.
DJ, drop that
Rhyme,
beat.
boy. Okay, cool. Claude, you've made your way upstairs. Tobin is excitedly eating away at a sausage that's been provided to him by Rian. Who did you bump into upstairs? Was it Logan or Tel?
I was going to look for Tell, just make sure he was up and let him know what we had heard. Sorry, I'll wait.
Go ahead.
Good?
Yep.
Okay, so Claude approaches Tell, he sees Tell's up, so he approaches him quickly and kind of in a hushed voice, not because anybody's around or eavesdropping, he's just kind of intense and got a lot going through his head. It's like Tell, he's like, we got some hints about that howling boar Boduk found out. He's trying to organize his thoughts. He's like, have you seen anything like that before? What happened to Niall? He's like, he's not all there, but he's not a zombie. He's alive. He's like, from a cleric's perspective, have you ever encountered anything like this before?
I'm fine for you to give whatever answer you want, Tel.
I can't remember like based off of the discussions we have, like this is out of character. I can't remember if I would or wouldn't have.
Yeah, so what Tel's most likely probably going to be thinking about is knowing that feeling of being imprisoned and interrogation and how that sort of pain and trauma that can come with that. A little bit of that flared up with him whenever he actually had the opportunity to be the interrogator in the last session. That sort of flared up a little bit for him. But nothing probably to the extent that you would be recognizing from Niall's situation, Claude.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I know of anybody who's been controlled before.
Okay. Claude thinks for a second. He's like, there's something else. I had a dream last night. I didn't sleep very well. Gods. Have you ever heard of a god called Hor?
Yes, I have.
Do
I
you
consult
know
with
any
the god of wikis.
Wikis? What does that mean? What is that like?
Hor is the Doombringer, the god of revenge. He yields lightning in one hand and a sword called the Hand of Retribution in the other. If you hear thunder, that's Hor.
Bud nods. He's like, it's a lot to think about. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go find the others?
Yep. Let's regather.
Set up
So
to find everybody.
yeah, and then we've got Logan. You were basically pretty much meditating again throughout the night. What you started to notice, if anything, you probably thought the night itself should have been a little bit colder because it's not like you weren't really sort of taking shelter. You were kind of up high, taking it easy. And you begin to recognize that the reason you didn't feel quite as cold is because your cloak is fitting on you quite nicely.
What? Oh, I'm so excited. Out of character, super excited. But
You just imagine Logan be like,
oh my god! Yeah, he's gonna be a little more nonchalant about it when he realizes.
strutting in with his cape. It's like, oh yeah, bitches. Yeah, okay. Got me a monster cape. Okay, cool. Logan, you basically feeling a bit excited. Yeah, as I said, nice snug fit on you on that. The only thing is, you've probably felt like you've had a better night's rest or sleep before, because as we know, you have one less hit dice for your short-term rest.
Sorry.
Me?
Hold on.
I think
Your short-term rest. Yeah.
Did I break it?
Can you still hear us?
Uh-oh.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
So we can he hear me twice? Can anybody else hear me twice?
I am hearing you double.
Okay.
I think through Logon, unless he fixed
Sorry.
it.
My headset came unplugged.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
You're
So
you're
then you were going through my laptop speakers, and then it was going back to the headset.
you were actually jumping up and down in real life about your about your cape.
No,
Fantastic.
sorry about that. The headset came undone.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so what's going on? I missed a lot of that. If you were talking, I couldn't hear any of it.
Oh, it's all right. We were just letting you get back sorted. That's fine. Okay, so basically, as you come down, you've got a little bit of a swagger about you because the cape is looking at fitting you quite nicely. You probably got a little bit of a look around you. You know, you see Rickard come past. You're hoping that he'd say something quite nice about your cape, but he's really distracted and he's walked past after checking up on his dad. Maybe you're a little bit disappointed. He didn't say anything about your cape and how well it fits you. But basically, as you're coming from, so you were very high up in the house and you just come down all the stairs. Rickard has just walked right past you. Rickard's making his way over to where Claude and Tell are standing. So basically, you reach the bottom of the stairs and you can see Rickard, Claude, and Tell at the back of the main living area, over towards the door that you know is the kitchen because Claude makes excellent sandwiches. So.
All right, I have to reach over my shoulder and give the cape a little scratch. I have to.
And you can almost, it's a very, very small sound, but it almost sounds like a slight purr.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And the eyes are twitching around a lot. So as far as it's concerned, it's almost slightly hyper aware for you. It's looking around in all directions, and you're feeling a little bit of an extra sense of the room, almost, not quite 5 senses or 6 senses, maybe like a 5.5 sense feeling. You sort of pick up, you're a little bit more perceptive about what's going on around you from a physical point of view, not perceptive from a reading the room social, interpretive way. Okay.
I need to reread that description of that cloak.
That's okay. So the main one we're going to stick with now is that you've got one less hit dice because of it.
Okay.
Okay. So that only comes into effect for any short-term rests that you ever want to take. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Logan, you're down the stairs. You give the cape a little bit of the cloak a little bit of a scratch, a little bit of a purr, and you see Rickard walking over towards Claude and walking over towards where Tell is. Okay. Do you want to join them, or do you want to maybe go over towards the balcony area, see what's going on outside, look for anybody else? What do you think?
That was actually my thought before you even mentioned it. Was I want to take a look outside? Classic Logon. Get up high, see what's going on, surroundings.
Tommy, you're still over at that basically sort of balcony kind of entryway. You didn't actually move, is that correct?
Tommy left. So while everyone was doing their thing, he was having his thoughts, and like I said, he's still in his he's a little upset with the group kind of thing, and he kind of does I don't gotta wait for them. So he heads down to the dock to see. He's looking for. He heads down for the commotion, but I'll wait till we get down to there, but.
Cool. Do you acknowledge the cloak on Logan?
Tommy
on the way past.
Tommy was standing outside the house, front porch area. So I didn't see anybody get up at all. I've already gone, so I haven't seen anybody actually awake. I heard the door click of Ricard coming from upstairs, but I never saw anybody. I didn't see anybody else get up.
So let's say in that sense that the same with the timing between Rickard coming out of the doorway, walking past, and Logan coming downstairs, Logan is almost getting to the bottom of the step as he's seeing the back of you basically leave the front porch stairway out the door. Okay. So Logan, you've got that. You obviously you've seen where Tommy's going, you've seen where everybody else is. Do you have a preference of what you want to do?
What do I want to do? So I'll just go ahead and rejoin the rest of the group. Actually, that's gonna be easier.
Yep, sounds good. Sounds good. And Tommy's way off that way. Okay, fantastic. Logan, Claude, Rickard, and Tell. We're going to come to that group at the moment. Claude, you see Rickard coming over towards you. He's looking a little bit distracted, a little bit tired. The bags under his eyes are a little bit deep.
One looks at him, goes, "You too? Didn't sleep?"
And that father is he's starting to stir a little bit. So I think your laying hands seems to have done the job.
Yeah, I seem to have purged him from the poison, or purged the poison from him. But I'm sure he needs rest. I'm glad to hear that he's stable.
I think it's more weakness at this stage, but you know, Father, he's not gonna stay down for long. So I probably wouldn't be surprised if he's gonna be out of bed soon enough. So.
Okay. Well, are you gonna stay here to keep an eye on him in case he needs anything?
You know, if I get called away, you know, I'll do what I can. You know, work wise from home here. So I know today it's see, you know yourself. It's basically the one delivery day that we have going on at the moment, especially with the restrictions that we have, water travel. So we try to consolidate a lot of the deliveries into the same window.
Yeah.
So I know that's going to happen, but we'll have to see.
There's staff on hand, right, to take care.
Yeah. It's more of a formality at this stage. It's more about expediency is the important bit. It's kind of get in, get the stuff, and then let people get away. You know, we also try to do it early in the day because I don't know. It's not like anyone has any idea of what Kisera doesn't exactly have patterns, but any incidents we've heard of have been closer to dusk than dawn.
Okay. Interesting. When you say incidents, what's the scale of the attacks that you've seen here?
Thankfully, nothing here. Actually, Daggerford's got off quite lightly. You know, in all honesty, I think that's actually helped in a slightly dark way. It's actually helped business a little bit because it's actually one of the areas we haven't had anything to date. Obviously, Shellberg was completely ruined. They would have been probably the closest thing that we had to a competition in terms of tourism and deliveries. So, but thankfully nothing in Daggerford. I think it's Amy basically he like touches wood and crosses his fingers and you know it's over his shoulder and all sorts of very, as you can imagine, with being around the docks your whole life, there's a lot of superstitious type actions that he's doing, and you can feel he's almost doing a little bit of everything just in case anything might help. So
Claude catches on the word competition.
You would have known of or thought of Shellberg very much as another destination. You probably might not have used the word competition.
Yeah.
Or thought of it in that sense.
We went down to the pantry to interrogate, to investigate, to check on Niall. Rian couldn't find anything in his head, but Boduk came back with the howling boar after reaching out to him. This is the same thing we heard at the dock yesterday, and Tommy knew something. It stuck out to him. Has anybody seen him?
Mid sentence, the room shakes a little bit. The room is shaking. The house is shaking. There's a little bit of shouting going on, but they seem to dissipate quite quickly.
Has that happened before?
This is not normal to you. But I know what you mean. Like, yeah, like Rickard's caught off with this as well. Everybody has felt this, but it's almost gone as quickly as it arrived. No damage to the house. Nothing has fallen. You know, probably the closest thing is maybe some paintings and stuff. We kind of come a little bit off the wall a little bit, but.
Vlad runs to the window, looks down to the water, see what if he sees anything. That's the first.
Yeah, you can look out. You can look out over the water. There's a few ships coming in, or have already sort of basically docked. I was going to say parked, but docked. You know, like a real sailor. So the few ships have docked into the area. There's a little bit of hustle and bustle. If anything, you kind of saw everyone just kind of take a moment where they just stopped and kind of looking around them. And then with like maybe 30 seconds ago past and there isn't anything else happening, people just get back to the speed that they're taking items off of boats and large containers and small containers and everything in between, spices and food and whatever, all coming off of ships, all being rushed into those storage areas. But yeah, so it happened. Didn't happen again. Getting on with it.
I think we should find Tommy. Again, has anybody seen him?
Rickard just says, nope. Haven't seen him.
Who else is here?
Wait, did I see him? I can't remember.
Oh, Logan did. Logan saw the back of him, yep.
I can't remember where he was going, though.
Yeah, you just saw the back of him, like pretty much going down out the front door, down the porch, and by the time you lost distance or lost sight of him, he had gone slightly to the right hand side.
Okay, so he went out the front porch.
Front porch, yeah.
Okay, then I'll let the group know that I saw Tommy go out into the front porch.
Is it possible he was headed towards the water?
I couldn't say. He just disappeared around the corner. We can go check on him. Or I can go check on him.
Who walks in? I can't find Tommy anywhere. I don't know where he went.
Logan's gonna take off and go after Tommy.
Bo's enjoying that he doesn't have to rhyme anymore as well. He's like you get the feeling he's kind of almost trying to fit in as many words as he possibly can. Without having to rhyme, he's just talking anything, saying anything that he can. Cool. Logan, you basically take away like a quick, almost like jaunt or a quick jog for you out to the front. Tommy, you had been making your way. Had you made your way towards the docks or the commotion? What was your?
I thought the commotion was down towards the docks. My
So
final end goal is to get to the docks, but if there's commotion on the way, he'll check it out.
Yeah. So imagine a slight. So if you came out the door, if you went right and kept going, you'd get to the docks. Okay. The commotion you heard is across the street, down one of the streets that's in front of you. So if you remember, I'll try to show you the picture that I have for streets, I believe, for Daggerford, where the tavern was on the right hand side, etc. That's actually funny having to go back to multiple sessions ago for a picture. I can't find it quickly.
Don't worry, my editor will put it in. Bing.
Yes, that's fine. yeah. I also want a nice rumble effect for the screen for earlier on.
Rumble effects.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So dock down to the right hand side, but if you were going to the commotion, you'd have to cross the street and go down one of the alleyways.
Yeah, Tommy will head towards the commotion. He's He's just looking for an excuse to kind of just be out and walking in.
Okay, cool. As you start to make your way towards the commotion, you're starting to hear more noise and more voices, and if anything, the voices sound a little bit rhythmic. And you start to hear almost the equivalent of a chant. You can't pick up any words yet, there's still a bit of a distance, but you can go mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. But you're not picking up any words yet.
Okay. I keep walking towards it. Yeah.
Keep walking towards it. That's upstairs. So we'll come back to you in 1 second. Okay, cool. Claude, Tal, Bo, Rian, Tobin got the sausage. You saw Bo go upstairs. Do you follow Bo? And is Niall being left alone in the basement?
I was on a mission to find Tommy to begin with, so
Yeah.
I'm going upstairs.
That's why I thought
Cool.
we were. That's why
Oh,
I
now-
came back saying.
Now
that's
everyone
what
wants
it was.
Tommy all of a sudden. Tommy 2 coming out. Oh, now you're concerned about.
So I guess we're leaving now by himself, huh?
Well, Claude's going to tell Rickard. We found a common thread. I think we need to investigate it. Can we? I assume we can lock the pantry down. Tell nobody to go in there.
Yeah, you know the way Mother never wanted us sneaking down and getting food when
Maybe.
it wasn't dinner time. So yeah, of course we can lock the pantry. You also get the feeling we're hearing Rickard just talks about the pantry like it's normal. Yeah, of course. Oh, there's only one room, only one door into it. Yeah, you know, we don't have one of those fancy pantries that has multiple doors. You know,
Maybe.
No, of
And
course not.
furniture.
We're not rich.
or furniture. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe have somebody keep an eye out there, but not do not fight. Like if anything escapes, just get out. But I would like to have somebody there to keep an eye on it and make sure Father is safe as well. But I think we need to investigate this, and hopefully we can bring Niall back from this. He's not dead, but I hope this can be reversed.
Yeah. So Rickard says he'll basically get a couple of guards. You know, a couple of ones that we've worked with on transport jobs. We'll get them to stand guard at the pantry door.
I'll tell the group. I'm gonna see if I can find Tommy. If anything, I think he went to the docks. What do y'all think?
Whenever I spoke to Niall, he that's what he said. Is the Howling Boar was he didn't tell me where to go, but that's where he said that his mission was at the docks. That's the last place he remembers.
Yeah, and you got from that as well. The Howling Boar is a ship as well, so so that's why the docks is the indicator for that.
So I mean, wherever Tommy is, I don't know, but I say we head towards the docks just to chase down this lead.
Claude makes for the door and see if anybody else is on their way.
Coming.
Ding
Right
ding
behind.
ding ding ding. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ring, 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 ring.
Okay, fantastic. Is everybody leaving the property? Okay, everybody's leaving the property, and everybody has the intent of going towards the docks.
Yes.
Is that correct? Cool.
We're all coming for you, Tommy.
Yeah, they're all like, this is the most excited the group's been. Find Tommy, right? Tommy, on the other hand, is across the street down an alleyway on the other side of the road. As he's making his way towards this, the chanting becomes clearer. You're picking up a few words, a few more words, you know? And you're basically picking up the word no is being used multiple times. So it's no, 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 As you make your way there, you're starting to pick up more and more words. And you're starting to recognize this, and it's very, very clear and excited. No or no more. No or no more. No or no more. And you see our minor friends have gathered together in sort of a makeshift, like an old style plaza There's lots of buildings around that. There's a grass area in the middle, and a rough stand has been created. Okay, so like a stage, a rough stage has been created, and there's a wooden pole in the middle of this, and from that there's a noose on this, and around the miners, and on his knees in front of them is none other than Kurdan Truestorm himself, and Beauregard is leading the charge of what's out. He goes, "We have been treated like, the dock workers, they get all the preference. We're told there's no money for us, but there's money for security, there's money for faith, there's money for dock workers, there's money for farmland, there's money and there's gold for everybody. Everybody but us, the earth shakers, the earthquakers, the miners. No." Basically, just rabble rising. Yeah.
Okay. Have they drawn like a crowd around them?
Oh yeah. This is like rush hour. Is like, whoa, okay.
And
look at this.
And have they the shake that was felt? Is it prior to this or after this statement is made about Earthshakers?
Yeah, so the Earth Shaker part that happened already. So
Okay.
the rumble had happened. Okay. And then these guys have basically, you get the feeling they've almost kind of just picked up where they left off.
Regardless if it is connected or not, Tommy in his head is connecting that they were the cause of the whatever the shake was.
Yeah.
He is leaning against a building and kind of taking it in. He hasn't stepped forward to stop. He's kind of trying to see where this heads to.
Yeah.
Today's entertainment is public lynching.
Okay, fantastic. So you're basically just watching, and at the moment, Beauregard just seems to be very much just rabble rising and getting people on side. And Truestorm just looks. He's got a black eye, so he's been restrained. You don't quite know, like, he doesn't look like he's been severely beaten, so you don't quite know how much of that was just in the explosive aftermath of the cash windfall and an assassin trying to get him and everything else happening. So you don't know how much of that is that, but he's basically on his knees. He looks tired, and there's this very makeshift joinery job of a noose. Okay, fantastic. Right, the rest of the party going out towards the docks. Okay, in the distance, you start to see something. Across the water, everybody's activity has really picked up pace. But from your angle, very, very briefly in the distance, you see a mountain that you know was in the direction of the mountain you were looking at.
Yeah.
After speaking to Danu. And there's starting to be a little bit of activity there. Starting to be a bit of smoke is kicking up, and there's a bit of. You're not quite sure, as you can see the red sky. It's dawn. It's very early in the morning as things are happening. You're not quite sure if the light is just reflecting off that or if something's going on. But there's certainly a bit of activity picking up there. Certainly a bit of smoke is happening at that mountain. Once again, everybody's just like, okay, well, the best thing to do is everyone around you is hustle and bustle. They're running past you and cutting past you and bumping and maybe briefly apologizing, but running past you as things are happening.
I think we should really work on finding Tommy now.
Yeah, seems like if we weren't on the desperate need of him.
How far away is that?
Walking distance?
The mountain?
The mountain?
As the crow flies.
Let's go. Yeah, as the crow flies, let's go 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days.
2-3 days walking. Yeah. Because you you knew it was a bit of a distance, especially from the forest where you met Danu. And then there was Flattery, and then Daggerford, so you knew it was going to go to the jaunt there anyway. So,
Can I do a history check to see if I would know if there's a like a way to get there by boat?
you can.
See if I can recall that stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you an advantage as well, because you're specifically mentioned thinking about boat travel.
Boat. 19.
It's so we know Daggerford is a port town.
Yeah.
Anyway, and there is rivers and estuaries that would get you there, pretty close to that. But the thing that comes into your head is, at some point, at the very start of that journey in particular, you would be in the main body of water that everybody is scared of going into.
Mm-hmm.
But you get the feeling that if you could get off that, you could get closer to rivers and estuaries on the way there.
Well, I mean, if I remember correctly, we can get there in no time if we were to take a boat. But we'd kind of have to go through the forbidden zone, if you will. So maybe we can commandeer a ship or take one on, hire a skiff after this.
Being Claude's hometown, does he know? Would he be able to hire somebody at the port?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, the Marcells, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Claude, maybe you can use some of your connections to get us out.
Yeah, I think I can find somebody to not commission. What's the word?
Yeah, commission. I'm fine with commission. Yeah, you basically you're hiring them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charter. I think is the word you were looking for.
Charter. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can charter a ship down there, a boat, something to carry us there. But
yeah,
definitely need to regroup with Tommy and.
See, as you're walking along, you start to hear a little bit of a psst.
Yeah, let's find out what that is.
Yeah, so you hear psst, you hear Viator.
Okay, I'll go to the noise. The person calling.
So you basically walk over towards a large stack of boxes, okay? And you're basically nonchalantly kind of leaning against the stack of boxes because you know the sound that's coming from you. Trying to be a little bit nonchalant about it. You're looking out towards the rest of the dock because you can tell the person that's making this noise doesn't want to be seen. So you're basically trying to help them not be seen. So they're standing around the corner of the box. Okay. And in that moment, basically, you look down and you see a little red furry foot. Because around the corner is none other than Rusty.
My boy!
He's basically around the corner. He's going like, psst, Viator.
Yeah, I'm familiarized with the voice, so I'm walking faster towards him now.
So the only other indication somebody else would have of the box is a little bit of smoke coming from behind the box. He's still got that. He's still got that really, really good cigarettes that he likes. That nippy, that feline nippy cigarette that he likes. Because it's a delivery day, so you're probably going to get good stock if you come into the port on this particular day. And he's like, he basically goes, hey. Tell me you guys aren't involved in this with this volcano here, right? Is this you guys?
No, not us, but we're gonna try and find out what's going on.
You need to hit a ride? Or
yeah. You actually showed up at the perfect timing.
Well, as you can see, it was pretty perfect timing for me as well. I was like,
I'll go give him like a little dap him up a little bit, give him a hug.
Yeah. You see that when you basically dap him up, you can see like his belly kind of just rubs a little bit up against your tunic,
Yeah, I'll
There's
give it a little scratch.
Yeah, that's basically what he wrote. Just a little bit of a wiggle right at the hips caused the belly to get rubbed. But then he catches himself because he was enjoying the hug, and he catches himself and goes right behind the box again. So yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see you too. Good to see you too. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too. I got some guys here, and we were just picking up supplies for Magville, and do with stretching my feet a little.
Nice. Well, we need a captain. We are going on an adventure. Would you like to join us?
As you're asking that question, you can see that he's really distracted. Like he is talking to you, but he's really looking around. It's not quite a twitchy look around. You can tell he's searching for something.
Okay, and then I'll ask him, what are you looking for? What's going on?
No, nothing. It's just no. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Yeah, good to see you guys. Yeah, just let me know when you need a ride, because I think we can move. I think we can get around a little bit quicker than some of these bigger ships.
You trying to run?
No.
Hey, if you're wanted in this town, you're in good company because I am too. I haven't been caught yet.
And when you say that, like you get these looking around, but he kind of unconsciously touches around his neck and around his wrists, almost sort of instinctively. He's not trying to tell you anything or looking at you, but that's kind of that's the only thing sort of that he unconsciously gives away.
Can I give him my old cloak that I had before?
And he's like,
yeah,
it's So he goes, he takes the cloak, and he kind of he takes a look at it, and if anything, he has a brief wee look around. And he goes, and he just takes a sniff. He goes, that's Viator. And he goes to put it on. The only thing is, when he tries to put the cloak on, it doesn't cover his ears, so he has to kind of push his ears back underneath it, and you can tell that the ears are really sort of like propping up underneath the hood, so it's a lot more pointed than it is whenever you've got it on. But it looks well on him. It's a little bit big for him in terms of length because he's not as tall as yourself, just being the tabaxi that he is.
Yeah.
But it's still a good fit.
I'll look at him and I'll just say, "You look ridiculous," as my bells jingle.
I take after you. I take after you. It is your cloak after all, and So just let me know when you want to go. When you want to go, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can I bring him to the group? Like, say, "Hey, we got our captain."
Well, you can tell he's not going to come out from behind the box.
Okay. So I'll
he's like,
go.
You can tell them. Just just let me know when you need me, okay?
I'll keep it on the DL, guy.
Yeah. And he kind of looks at you when he says that, and he kind of like laughs briefly, but then the eyes get really serious, as something has caught his eye. He's not twitching around anymore. Right, but I got to go, and he basically scoots off around the box away from you.
Can I do
before you can get a so perception, absolutely. What are you looking to perceive?
What he was looking at, or what he's like worried about.
Okay, cool.
Well, no, okay, 9.
Yeah, not quite quick enough. If anything, you get the general direction being towards the dock area, but you don't know if it's the collection of ships that are docked there, if it's the storage areas, if it's somebody in the crowd. You only have a very, very general direction that you're looking in before he scoots off.
Okay. Well, I'll dismiss that completely. I'm gonna go back to the group and tell them that I found Rusty. Rusty
Okay.
Dusty.
Rusty.
What's he doing here?
Where is he? Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing here. He said he was getting supplies, but he seems very worried about something. I just don't know what it is.
Did he
Not
run
very
off already?
He's behind some boxes. We'll keep this on the low. He seemed a little worried to be out in public. But he said when we need him, we can just go find him. I know where he's at.
You know how to get he's gonna be behind those boxes the whole time?
That's a great
Son of a
question.
flare.
You look towards the boxes and there's a little bit of smoke coming out just from behind the boxes, but that little bit of smoke is moving. It's a little bit. It's a little. You can see a little bit of a trail. It's not. So you won't see it forever, but you can see a very slight trail of
That's
where
good.
he was. At least where Tell was. So
That's good. Well, at least we know
see
we have somebody
in the
we can
Howling
trust.
War at the dock and see if Tommy's there.
sorry, Rian, what was the question?
Should we see if
yeah.
the Howling War
Yeah,
is
yeah.
docked and see if Tommy's there?
Yeah, let's go check it out first, and then we can come back and grab Rusty.
Oh yeah.
If anything, Rusty, we should be able to like meet somebody down at the docks, right? So either way, I guess we'll find him.
Yeah, should I go back and ask? Hey, how am I gonna find you?
That's sounds like that ship has sailed.
Yo.
No, get out. Get out.
I make it rhyme.
But
Yeah.
it sounds like Rusty found you.
Oh,
Kinda,
true. Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
sure he'll find us when we need him.
I think
So-
anybody would find Tell in this crowd, based on what he's wearing.
No, I blame right now.
Yeah, I think anybody who knows what Tell looks like, but even the fact that he was calling him Viator, from when you guys
Oh.
actually met. So
Yeah, I forgot. That.
yeah. Okay, cool. Tommy, how is the entertainment going for the evening or the morning actually?
Tommy was standing there and waiting to see if it progresses. If this is for show or if they're looking to actually hang True Storm.
Yeah. True Storm. Cool. Roll perception, please. Perception or investigation, whichever one's higher for you, and I'll give you clues based on that.
Nat 20, baby, for a 23.
Ooh. Cool. Perception or investigation?
Perception, please.
Perception. So what you're perceiving that when you hear Beauregard talking is that a lot of his points now are starting to get repetitive. Like he's kind of saying the same stuff, and you can kind of see him looking around a bit and pushing it to Storm, and he sounds like he's making demands and demanding to speak to somebody, and if we don't, we're gonna you see that he's going up there. Yep, that's it. If we don't get our stuff, he's definitely going up there. And it's kind of getting repetitive, and you're not getting an indication that he the bluff could be called. He's certainly not got a negotiator's face about him. If anything, you also remember as well how impressionable he can be. When people suggest things like explosives to him and stuff, he's kind of ready to take. He knows he's almost been accidentally thrust into this leadership role as opposed to being an actual leader of people.
All right, then Tommy from his position kind of calls out, "It's not going to get you what you want," and he kind of waits for a little bit of the crowd to kind of turn towards him, and they kind of make an alley between him and Tommy, and Tommy will kind of walk up and be like, "Killing this man is not going to get you what you want. You think in this city, if you kill someone of this stature, that you're going to just be able to go back to your job, that your family is just going to be able to continue to live here?" And very, very putting it into his head that if you and it's like you kill someone of this stature, you're also done. Your family is also done. Anyone close to you will no longer be a part of this city, whether they cast you out or hang you in the same way. And he's like, if you want justice, you're gonna have to find. You're gonna have to go through whatever this city's system is. Tommy Moore thinking of like a court, but I don't know if there's court or whatever this city has. So,
I get you.
so he's trying to point him more in the direction of instead of kill to get answers, go through whatever system there might be. Though Tommy doesn't have that information. At the same time as is boisting this, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and at the top of where the rope is actually connected, by Mage Hand, I want it to undo the rope, but still leave it over the top so it looks like it's still strung up.
Yeah.
So if they would go to that direction of trying to hang him, the rope would just fall loose and not work.
Cool. I'm going to basically kind of react that in a couple of different ways.
Yep.
One, you're going to do either persuasion or an intimidation check, whichever one you choose. You're going to do that with advantage because of your nat 20 perception. So you've picked up this. So everything you're saying has been fueled with this knowledge that you've picked up. Okay. And absolutely, and the Mage Hand is working away. So this score as much is to convince them or intimidate them, as well as distract the crowd and the other miners from your Mage Hand, because it is a visible little hand. I'm almost thinking like a Mickey Mouse sort of blue glow kind of hand. It's not invisible. It is something that can see. So it's got to be able to distract people, or you've got to be able to distract them while that's happening.
Okay.
With advantage. Oh no.
8.
Hey. Okay.
I rolled 4 twice.
Can I give him my inspiration? Can I give inspiration?
You're not there. No one else is around me to help me. So 8.
Okay.
Man,
it is.
dude, that was
I
such
am.
a good speech.
So did you?
And that's the thing. Tommy is
Yeah.
saying a lot of words, but doesn't have the information to back. I don't know if there's actually a justice system here at all. So he's just saying a lot in the hopes that it's convincing.
Yeah. Okay. I'll play along with that because I absolutely agree with what Bo was saying. It was really good. It's really well thought out. I promise you, I was going to do this anyway. Want to see what the rules are. You are getting an inspiration dice with that.
Okay.
So you get a D6. Okay. It's your last chance.
Yeah.
So
a 6. So 14.
Excellent. Okay, cool. The miners, basically like everything else, like all those miners in the background, the fact that they put Beauregard in charge, you can just tell they're looking for somebody who actually knows what the next step will be for that. So 100% he's focused on you. Beauregard has come to the front of the stage where you are. He's talking towards you, and no one has noticed that the Mage Hand has loosened the rope. What you did notice as well is that when the Mage Hand was up there, even when it was altering with the rope, the makeshift noose and hanging stick post, whatever you want to call it, it was very rickety.
Okay.
Like the entire thing is rickety. Like even when Beauregard's walking towards you, there's a bit of a creak and stuff. So these are miners, they're not joiners. they've made something and it's just about holding up.
So as Tommy started his conversation, he did a hand gesture that looked like to the crowd. That was him casting his Mage Hand. So as he was speaking, he was kind of doing a quick dart of his eyes up to see. And when the Mage Hand did what I wanted, he'll kind of end the conversation with, that's something that you need to choose. And when he closes his hand, Mage Hand disappears. And without waiting for answer from him, Tommy just turns and kind of walks away back down the alley. Very just like, I dumped this information on him to try to dissuade. I don't necessarily care about True Storm that much, but in the sake of the overall wardens, and we've kind of do a little bit of protecting of the wardens, I threw what I could at him without. I'm not looking to start conflict. Tommy's not willing to put his neck on the line for True Storm, but he thinks he did enough to convince him. And rather than continue a conversation back and forth, Tommy leaves it there so that maybe the crowd will also kind of jump onto what he said, and then Tommy makes a walk away because he's trying to go towards the docks.
Okay, as you're making your way towards the docks, basically you're covering the plaza, the distance of the plaza. Beauregard is still talking and yapping and running his mouth, but he's not going. As far as you can tell, sort of walking away. There's a combination of he doesn't seem to be moving him towards the noose. But the only other thing you hear before you leave the plaza is a little bit of a hey, ho, 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 ho of people being pushed out of the way at the far corner of the plaza. So say if you were entering from this corner of the plaza, this corner of the plaza, you can hear a little hey, what the hell? What's the big deal? You know, people being pushed out of the way.
Tommy will look back at it. He's still kind of walking. I think it's more of making sure no one's trying to attack him. Like one of the miners are suddenly breaking off to try to come after Tommy or something. So he will glance back at it.
Okay. You're seeing people being pushed out of the way by a figure in a relatively long black coat with a very, very determined movement pattern straight towards the stage.
Okay. Tommy stops. Tommy will stop to look upon it again. Hasn't moved closer. I would say he got to like the edge of the crowd and closer to like an alleyway and has turned around.
Okay, cool. What you see coming flying out of the crowd is a hand, like a handheld tool, like an object. You don't know what it is. It's been thrown towards the stage. It just missed Beauregard and hit the hanging pole. And that pushing figure is increasingly determined, making its way towards the stage.
Tommy still doesn't move. He'll take it in.
Okay, cool. So you're still watching?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. Fantastic. You hear more pushing, more shoving. This pace has picked up really, really fast towards the stage. A individual that you have not seen before, based on your interactions with the room and the party, is making its way towards the stage, straight towards True Storm.
Fuck.
I'm trying to think. I saw him as the jester.
You weren't involved in the chase.
So he didn't look like that. As far as that clothing was shed as he ran out to get onto the roof. So I don't recognize him as anything other than an aggressive person going towards the stage.
An aggressive person going towards the stage. So it could be another one of the miners who's pissed off. It could be someone else in the crowd. But this is basically what's happening. This person is charging towards the stage. Do you intervene or do you turn towards the docks?
Tommy doesn't turn towards the docks, but he also doesn't intervene.
Okay, cool. What you're going to find this individual, it's still behind the crowd for a lot of it. You're only barely seeing like the head and shoulders of this person kind of in amongst other people's heads and shoulders as you're walking across. So you're not picking up any sort of real detail on that. Beauregard has no idea what's going on. The other miners have no idea what's going on. And you see that the stage itself takes a massive shake. And massive shit. And this thing is stumbling and it's about to fall. And it collapses downwards. The entire thing goes down. Beauregard goes down, True Storm goes down, the hanging post goes down, the stage goes down, the miners go down. The people at the front of the crowd just all disperse and start running away.
Oh, okay. So they were all on a stage. Okay. This is a bigger stage than I was thinking in my head. Okay, so they were all on the stage, and the stage kind of all shook with them on it, and now they've all crumbled down into like a heap of stuff. Yeah. And do I recognize the person that was being aggressive through the crowd as the one interacting with the stage? Because to me, it's maybe just somebody that's trying to be there on behalf of True Storm or something. So I don't recognize it as
would
a threat.
You would have to connect some dots that it's the same person who did the throwing and the movement. All you know is you saw some movement, you saw some throwing, and then the stage collapsed. It was a stage that you saw was already rickety.
Yeah.
On that, so no, you don't have a definitive angle of what exactly happened. You just saw some stuff happened, and then eventually the stage all crumbled.
Yeah, so to Tommy, it was just I knew the stage was rickety, the weight of them, everybody on that. I don't put it as an aggressive attack from anybody just because someone's walking through the crowd. I don't take it in as I'm more of just like, oh, well, you should have built a better stage in my head. Like, that sucks. That sucks for them to be on that stage. Like, it doesn't. Tommy doesn't really give a shit about the people.
There's screams and it's a bit dramatic and people are running away and shouting and stuff and all that's happening and a lot of them are running towards you because they're just running away from the stage. They're kind of bumping into you as you've kind of stopped at that end.
Tommy's kind of doing like the sideways turns to avoid, but still looking up towards the stage. Do I at this point see a threat of somebody with a weapon standing over anybody?
Can't see through the crowd. They're all just a whole bunch of people are all just running at you, and the stage is no longer there anymore.
All right, Tommy will fight upstream against the crowd running away, moving back towards the stage.
Give me a strength check, please, because this is a lot of people running.
So that's just my a straight roll
just
plus my
modifier. Yeah, strength modifier. Yeah, 2. You're being pushed back with the crowd. The amount of people that's there, like even if you tried to move, you'd be like, "Whoa!"
What are we running from? Like Tommy's kind of getting spun around, pushed up against like other people, and just like he's trying to keep eye contact, but the people are just like pushing him different directions.
You're just being swarmed, and just the rush of the crowd has got you, and it's basically pushing you back out towards the street.
Okay.
What do you now you start to hear a couple of guards coming by. Just from different directions because they heard a bit of commotion, heard the screaming, so some different guards are all running towards the entrance. What's Tommy's reaction to seeing all these guards piling in at the same time?
Tommy's now going to go with the crowd. He doesn't want to be around the guards, so he assumes whatever the little incident of the stage falling and this little ruffle buffle, the guards will take care of the miners. So he kind of now instead of fighting with it, he is duck kind of putting his head down and going with the flow of the crowd. And is gonna the closest alley he can cut down to get out of the big group of people. He'll cut down an alley, but still in the intentions of I'm heading to the docks.
Yeah. So the traffic of people you've kind of slipped off to an alleyway just to get out of the lack of control that you had with this tide of people coming towards you. You can see they're all running that way, and you can see. They're at least running in the general direction of the docks. They're not necessarily running to the docks. It's more they're running away from the plaza that they're in.
Yeah, Tommy will scoot down an alley, try to get back into a main road that doesn't have as much traffic. Still in my attentions. As I'm heading to the dock, do I have a view of that mountain as well?
The closer you get towards the docks, now you can start to see it. Yeah, because you're looking towards the docks, you're looking towards the ships. You're looking towards the storage thing. And one of the ships has a very recognizable frame to it. Very recognizable silhouette for you, Tommy.
Can I do a perception to see if I see any symbols, flags?
You won't from this angle because the ship that you think that it is, the main motifs are at the very front and the very back, and you're more looking at the side elevation of it.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like to hide, and I would like to get closer. But if there's people going on and off the ship or standing on the ship, I don't want to get close enough to be viewed. So I want to view the ship from a hidden position.
Cool. Can you do a perception check for me, please?
22.
Cool. Catches your eye as you're walking past. You're walking towards the docks. You're in amongst a bunch of boxes and things, just trying to get a bit of a better viewpoint, a bit of a better angle, staying away from the crowd. And you went, was that Rusty? But that image has gone like a flash.
And was that down an alley? Or I saw him going towards the ship, off the ship.
In amongst the boxes that are sort of stacked and like crates and things that are stacked along the side, you can see he's making his way towards the edge of the water,
Okay.
which would then kind of circle around and bring you towards the ships.
Okay. I don't make any call out or anything to him. I just recognize it.
You just have that moment. He's like, "Is that Rusty?"
Yeah.
And then he's basically gone almost as quick as.
My
you
focus
see
is back on the ship. I'm trying to recognize either dock workers. I'm trying to recognize if there's dock workers, if there's crew on that ship, if I recognize anything, any people on the ship.
From your distance with that same thing, there's a lot of hustle bustle on the ship that you're looking at. Yeah. You can see the corner of a recognizable motif on the back of the ship, a badge that you would recognize. You can see basically one half of it. And as this hustle and bustle is happening, quite a large individual of a silhouette. So it's still morning, quite early dusk, so it's a little bit of light, but it's more sort of silhouettes and things. Not only have you recognized the silhouette of the ship, the silhouette of a large individual is walking along the deck and making his way towards a gangway.
Towards the what?
Gangway. So
Okay.
like the
thing that goes down off.
ladder come down. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Let's say it's 100 yards away from you. You know, so it's like it's and it's relatively dim light. Things are going on. The only thing that distracts you as a bunch of people are walking past is the sound of some bells. You can hear some bells nearby. Ding 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 ding.
Mhm.
Wee bells happening.
Tells bells.
Tells bells.
Yes, love it. Take all of the inspiration dice.
I'll do it.
And then get back into Rian mode. Okay. Tells bells. Rian mode. Yes.
Yeah.
Tells bells. Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
I want to. I'll do another perception check if needed. I want to move closer. Still trying to kind of go from box to box, and I want to lock in if I want to try to see the face of the bigger person coming down, and I'm still trying to count or look at interactions if there's other crew members kind of following with him, if he has like a gang of people around him, or if it's very much like he's kind of standing by himself. There's people taking stuff on and off I'm trying to clock who is with him or who is just a worker that is getting stuff done for the boat.
So this large individual that you're seeing, still very much the silhouette. You don't get the feeling that anyone's talking or interacting with them. It's a lot of busybodies around him.
Okay, I'm gonna Tommy kind of I can do a stealth or whatever. Tommy's gonna maneuver around shops, around crates and whatever to get within like 50 feet, 30 to 50 feet of where he is kind of walking or commanding or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Stealth roll, please.
15.
Yeah. You get close enough to the point that you don't think that anybody has noticed you, but what you have noticed that as this larger individual is coming down the gangway, he is being followed by 4 very large individuals now.
Okay. Tommy will just observe. Just kind of figuring out if they are coming. I guess he's trying to clock if they're leaving, if they're coming or going. Are they loading up the ship for stuff? Are they taking stuff off the ship? I'm trying to figure out if he's coming into town or if he's just getting things ready to head out of town.
Cool. I'm gonna leave Tommy to basically investigate that as it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rest of the group. Bo, Claude, Rian, Tel, and Logan. These are all in there together. You still don't know where Tommy is. You've heard a little bit of commotion. You heard a little bit of a crash, but it was a bit of distance, and maybe might have sounded like 2 carts kind of bumping against each other. It wasn't a particularly large item that fell apart, and a little bit of hustle and bustle as people were kind of running past. But you're already in amongst a large busy dock anyway. What do you want to do?
So if I recall, wasn't Niall trying to make his way back to the dock last night, Claude, whenever we were chasing him?
That's the direction I was headed.
Maybe we should,
Logan?
yeah, should we head back towards the warehouse that kind of caught him in? Maybe that's where the ship would be.
The warehouse we followed that prisoner to also. I don't know if it was the same warehouse.
Yeah.
Same general direction, I assume. It's
So
as good a starting point as any.
Yeah. So the one so at the far end of the docks, based
Yeah.
on the position of where the cash windfall was, and these other ones. Okay. There's basically 4 large, kind of relatively simple rectangular shaped dock storage warehouses along the waterfront. The one furthest from you, let's call it on the very left hand side, is the one that Niall fell through. Yeah. The one on the right hand side is the one that you investigated as part of your investigations from the night before.
Okay, so they're opposite sides.
No, they're basically all in a row. So
Okay.
the far end of the docks from you, because all the ships are boarding on your right hand side. Like imagine it's basically like the docks. So imagine like you've got all the ships here, and then you've got a bunch of docks in a row over here. So, let's say you came down this way. This is where the plaza and stuff was. You got a bunch of ships here, kind of in a row, and you've got some warehouses all lined up. I realized I'm pointing at the Discord version, not the actual on the screen one. So
Okay.
Plaza and Marcel warehouse to this direction, this side. Kind of forget these boats that are here. Boats that are docked, warehouses.
Right.
Yeah. So let's imagine this is the one where Niall fell through. These are relatively large buildings, not to scale. This would be the one that you would have investigated.
Cool.
Okay, I see.
Can I do
Can I
an
check
investigation? Are we there?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, can we? Is that where? Can we go there? Do an investigation check. Sorry, you know what, Claude? You just say whatever you were gonna say.
I was just gonna do a perception check on see if any of the boats looked out of place, or if if any of them, because I'm still looking for the Howling Boar as well as Tommy. Do we see any symbols that stand out on any of the ships that are docked?
See? Sorry?
Can we roll?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Just get an idea of what the question was again. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So we found the boar symbol at the warehouse. Do I spot it on any of the ships as we're approaching the docks? Am I close enough to see like the docked ships and like call out any symbols?
Yeah. So you are, and there doesn't seem to be anything. So I've kind of got it that you're making your way towards these warehouses. You're looking at the front of these ships, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of an indicator on the front of these ships that would differentiate them. There's no names on the front. There's no motifs or anything on the front of the ship. They all just look like large ships, pointed that way.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I guess
that's where you can kind of metagame what I was saying there, but it was very particular what I was saying. So it's from your angle. Okay.
And that's totally understandable.
Cool.
I think the warehouse where we actually like investigated would probably be my focus. I assume Niall was probably heading towards that one, even though he didn't fall into that same one.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too.
Would that make sense?
Okay. As you make your way towards that warehouse, you do see one, obviously there's a lot of hustle and bustle going about, and a small group of men, one individual leading 4 other individuals behind them, just passes you guys in the group. Just to give you an idea of the context of where you are and the timing of things happening, but they look like sailors, they look like any other sailors, they look like any other people on the boat, so outside of metagaming, there's no particular reason for you to be all like, "Hey, who are you, stranger?" Tommy's seeing where they're going. That group. Your group has no reason to interact with them. So I'll kind of nip that one in the metagame bud. Right there.
Got. But
Cool. So you're going towards the warehouse, yep? The one that you investigated.
Towards the same one, yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, the docks that are around the warehouse, right? Because we're looking for the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What you are basically finding doesn't seem to be any sort of. There's no guards, no official guards around the place. You're seeing a couple of burly sailors around the same warehouse that you had seen before, but they're not in guards uniform.
I find it odd that nobody's on guard here. Does anybody stop us as we approach the door?
These guys, they're smoking. They're playing some cards at the thing. They're right at the entryway. They're like, "What do you want?"
My name is Claude Marcel Brightward. I'm here on behalf of the Marcel family, investigating a disturbance, and can I try to do it in an intimidating manner? It's kind of imposing.
Understand? The moment they heard Marcel, they went, "Oh, yeah, of course, of course." Captain Zane. Captain Zane was. That doesn't matter. That's above my pay grade. But yeah, come on. You can check the stock for yourself. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask them directly. We've heard reports of a ship called the Howling Boar. Have you heard anything about it?
The perceived friendliness that you had here in the Marcel now disappears when you don't know what the Howling Boar is. He's like, "What do you?" Actually, just go away.
Insight check.
Yeah.
yeah.
Balls. That was a nat 1. Total of 4.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you had your eyes down while you were trying to, you're like puffing out your chest, sort of trying to be intimidating. You didn't pick up on it. Everybody else in the group saw this very, very clear change in demeanor with the walk, and they responded seemingly positive to the very first thing that you said, and were about to get up and kind of let you in. The moment you asked about, is there a ship called the Howling Boar? Then they shut down. They're like, whoa. No, just go away.
I was gonna
Get
say,
out of
well,
here.
now, gentlemen, we were instructed to come down.
Jealous.
We were instructed to come down and meet with Captain Zane. So I think you could show a little more respect and
Deception check. Deception check with disadvantage because Claude's just after asking what is the Howling Boar.
Beautiful. All right. Deception. Where is that?
I'm a direct guy. I'm sorry.
All right.
It was going
That's,
so well
that's a
until you
concept.
opened your mouth again.
I'm gonna roll these. All right, I got a 14.
Yeah. They're not. It doesn't matter what you say now. That's after what happened. No, they're not buying it. They're not buying it. In fact, what they do is they bang on the storage warehouse door.
Mm-hmm.
One other big guy comes out of the door.
Yeah. Go for it.
Another big guy comes out the door and goes, "What? I think we got a bit of trouble out here." The other one comes out, and the other one kind of sticks his head back into the warehouse and goes, "Get out of here!" And he steps out. So there's 3 large sailors. Not like Navy sailors, like they're not in any way official gear looking. They are people that are not impressed with this group of people encroaching on their warehouse, on the warehouse. Problem here?
Does Tobin maybe start growling?
Tobin's picking up in your body language, and he's
guys, I think we should go. Um, we- let's regroup. We really need to find Tommy, but we're like, we always make trouble wherever we go. I think we should, like, nobody's comfortable here right now.
One of the sailors goes, "You know Tommy?" Shh, shut the hell up.
Yeah,
No.
John,
Tommy, we've been for him.
in a good way, looking for him. 'Cause we've been looking
Like
for
you
him
want to
too.
give hugs and kisses to him? Is that?
Of course, we're his friends. We're just looking to catch up. We just want to chat. Just want to
How about-
talk. Just want to.
How about we chat with your captain instead?
Do anything you choose, Mr. Marcel, if that is even your name. But captain, I don't have a captain. Do you have a captain? No, I don't have a captain. Do you have a captain? No, I don't have a captain. Nobody's got a captain here. How about you just keep on moving?
Well, it
Have you
sounds like
seen? I guess you haven't seen Tommy, right? Right? You haven't seen Tommy today.
Let's just say if I seen Tommy, I think everybody in this port would know about it.
Who should we tell him is looking for him if we find him first?
Tell him his good buddy. All of his buddies, all of his friends, they're looking for him. We miss him. We miss him so much.
Well, where do you know him from? So we need a little more to give. He's a very sociable guy. I can't just tell him some friends.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a mouth on him, doesn't he? He kind of doesn't know when to shut the hell up.
Yeah, we're talking about the same Tommy.
Kind of like the look of your dog. I was kind of wondering if I could have him.
No,
Yes.
he's my service dog. He's bonded to me. This is. I appreciate it though. He's a great dog. He's great.
If you change your mind, or by any chance we come to an agreement, no, I think these sea dogs could use a little dog of their own on the high seas.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep it in mind. We'll let Tommy know that you're looking for him. Guys, we should go now. And I start trying to drag, like Claude by the shirt back down.
real
away.
quick. Who do you sail with? What ship do you sail on?
Got a lot of nerve talking. I thought you were looking to speak to the captain a second ago.
I was. I still am. I just want to know who you were.
I thought
who
he
you work
didn't
with.
even know what ship that he was looking for.
Oh, we know what ship we're looking for.
You ask a bunch of questions for a bunch of people who have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Definitely, we don't know. We should go. Yep, we should shut up and leave.
Sounds
Not
like
convinced you know how to look after a dog properly either. Maybe for the sake of animal protection, we should be the ones looking after him.
Claude puts his hand on his sword. What's your name, asshole?
You're looking. It's a pretty looking sword, and it's Mr. Asshole to you.
We'll tell Tommy and Mr. Asshole's looking for him.
Yeah, you tell him that. You tell him that. And this is my friend, Senor Asshole, and Monsieur Asshole.
You guys brothers?
There's actually.
Asshole in 3 languages. All right. You're
Yeah. Would you like to meet some of our other family members?
fluent.
Get a bit of a reunion going?
Fuck this guy up.
Because there's quite a few of us here, and just bangs on the warehouse door again. And he looks over towards one of the ships and goes, "Hey, guys!" And you can just see he's trying to get the attention of somebody on a ship. You tell what way he's looking, but not exactly which ship that he's looking at.
Is
So,
the door open?
are we going to have a family dinner? You're looking at me like you want to dance.
Real quick, DM, is the door open at all? Because I know he came through the door. It's closed?
Oh, he shut it behind him again.
Okay.
So this one in particular is just staring down. Mr. Marcy over here. Is it Marcy? Marsha? I don't know. That's a pretty shiny looking shield you got there. I was just think that might be nice enough to look after me on the high seas. What do you think, huh? Do you think
Marcel, but you don't look like a literate bunch.
know what literate means, but I do know what an ass kicking looks like.
Do you know who controls the trade in this town?
Oh, I think you don't know who controls the trade in this town.
Are there any guards at the dock?
Are you asking Mr.
I'm
Asshole? Or are you just
asking
saying
out of
that?
character. No, I'm asking out of character.
You asking, Mr. Asshole?
Is there any guards around? No, there's no guards around.
No guards around.
Like compared to other times you've been at the docks? Mm-mm. Or not.
Rain's starting to get annoyed, and little bits of lightning are crackling at her fingers, and she's a bit confused by what they're trying to lead us through with talking, and looks at Bo. It's like, Bo, whatever that rhyming thing you were doing earlier, can you translate what this is going on?
It sounds like no, I can't. It sounds like
While this is going on, Tommy, you watched 4 figures get off the boat, walk back towards the direction that you had came from. At the same time, you start to see a little bit of activity happening at the far end of the docks at the warehouse. And you can see a little bit of a standoff happening. You can't quite see exactly who it is. There's a lot of people in the way. It's still early dawn. So there's only a little bit of light happening. Where do you choose to put your attention?
Okay, so the group of 4, or well, 4 led by the bigger gentleman.
Yes.
Are they still
yeah,
like
group of 5? Yeah.
Are they still kind of close to like what's that called? The plank thing, the gang.
No, they walk past. So they walk. So we know from the story that they walked past already. The group that had Claude and everybody into it. They've made their way across most of the dock area. People are kind of getting out of their way, but not necessarily like parting the seas in front of them. Just people are kind of quickly getting out of the way because it is 5 pretty large individuals making their way, and they are walking with purpose that you can tell back in the direction that you had came.
Okay, then I will see, they walked past me, they have their backs to me. I will I'll kind of start by like sneaking I want to get within like 30ish feet of them, like.
Yep.
And as I do that, as they're kind of walking down the dock, I will step out from behind my box, so I'm from the boxes or whatever I'm behind. I'm still behind them, and out loud, I'll say, "Of course you survived, you fucking sea snake." And I will shoot my pistol at him.
All right. Roll initiative.
Oh, damn.
that's good.
Miss Tommy.
That is an 11.
Okay.
Are we all rolling initiative?
We're going to at least one round is going to happen before that, just in terms of reactions. Okay.
And Tommy,
You got 11, yeah.
Tommy does it. Yeah, Tommy does it very loud to announce to like get his and whoever else's attention. He doesn't give a fuck. He's seeing red right now.
Okay, cool. Who were you aiming at?
The tall leader guy.
The
If I
tall
have-
leader guy. Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm behind, so I'm assuming the 4 guys are kind of, sort of flanking
In
him.
the way.
I want to.
Yeah,
If I have it, I want to try and shoot towards him. But if I catch somebody that
you won't have a clear shot. Okay.
All right, then.
So if you want to hit him, it's going to be a really difficult role because he's basically in cover, even if it's a human shield in front of him.
then
he's going to be in cover and all that sort of stuff. So, like, are you actually shooting at somebody? Are you shooting to get their attention? Like maybe shooting up into the air? Or you just because I can kind of let you. I can still kind of let you do that, in a way. But they all know where you are and they're all gonna look.
is there? So there's me. There's them. Are there like? Is it the dock crowded with like stuff that they're kind of going around, or is it like a pretty much open dock and just people? There's just people around.
They're in the open dock area. You're in around crates and boxes
Okay, then-
that are relatively quite stacked. So you're in pretty good cover, but they know where they're looking. It's a little bit of a maze.
I still shoot my pistol in the attempt of trying to hit him, knowing that I might catch one of the other 4.
Okay, cool. Roll an attack, please.
Fucking bitch. 5.
Okay. You had surprise on that, but it was bad shot, crowd of people. Yeah, it is. It's just a let's call it a rush of blood to the head, a rash decision
Mm-hmm.
that didn't come with the accuracy that you needed.
Mhm.
So it has messed up. I was trying to
No,
be creative for
it-
you because
he doesn't deserve it.
You clearly got the jump on it, but it's such a bad roll.
Yeah,
And that means you're a bad person and a bad player.
exactly.
And yeah, but yeah, okay. So you shoot, you miss, and he goes, "Of course you survive, fucking asshole!" Right? Okay, and turns around in the dock area, and this imposing individual, a well-worn sea face. You know, there's some scarring on it, but nothing necessarily sort of supernatural about it. You know, you got some scars across the face, some patchy skin and blotches, and almost overly tanned, like burned, like like almost like someone, like an old person who's been on holiday a lot, like almost like crispy brown, leathery skin on this physically imposing individual that you know very, very well. You know how he got his moniker that he's famous for, that you know, etc. And he just goes, well. If it isn't Mr. Townsend, welcome back to the fold, boy. Guys, let's take our friend in for a little reunion. Let's have him rejoin the family. They basically all swarm towards you in this initiative order that they had. I'm telling you right now, they rolled well on.
Fuck their
because
rolls.
because you had said you'd waited for them to be within about 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
They're within 30 feet of you.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically all charge on you. And a combination of so you're going to have to do 4 different strength or dexterity saving throws to prevent from being restrained by them. So basically you have to pass 4 in a row or somebody's restraining you.
Okay. Tommy, like, shot his pistol, obviously missed the shot, turns the gun over for the butt, and it's just like arms and elbows going everywhere on the 4 people that are coming at him. So you want, did you say dex or saving or strength saving?
So either,
or do you want me?
However, Tommy would try to get out. So if he's strong, he's going to try to push up. If he's dex, he's going to try to.
Tommy's going to be more like slipping,
duck and wave.
try because they're probably bigger than him in the first place. So he's more using speed than he is strength.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
4 dex saving throws. Here we go.
Tommy got this.
6.
Right, so right off the bat, the first one got you. So there's no point doing the other. There's no point doing
Nat
the other
20.
'cause you
Nat
didn't
20.
talk.
Nat 20. So Tommy like swings high at the one, but the other guy went low and hit him in the waist and took him down to the dock, and they're all on him.
They've all just sort of dogpiled on you. At
You-
that point,
Fuck it!
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Tommy's like
yeah.
enraged, like you fucking son of a, I'll fucking kill you, like just absolutely screaming.
And basically at that point, this individual that you know basically encroaches on top of you as everyone has sort of pinned you down and lifted you up and sort of got your big arms and your legs and they're just sort of almost kind of upheaving you. He goes, I've got a little bit of business to do in town. So you never actually got to meet the boss. So congratulations, you've got invited to the big table today, the real business table today. You're gonna get to see the boss today.
Can I spit attack at him?
Of course. Well, you don't have to attack yet, but you just spit at him because he's pretty much in your face. So,
Yeah, among all my curses and like this,
Yeah.
so he says I try to spit at him.
Okay. Cool.
Do we hear that gunshot? Like, I mean, he heard Tell's bells
Yes,
earlier.
Well,
How
yeah,
far
you
away?
will. You will in
Okay.
a second. You will in a
Cool.
second. Okay. Tommy, you spat at this individual.
Mhm.
Okay. Does a 17 and a 19 hit you?
Yes, both do.
Took you both. Basically, the two guys restraining you just absolutely massive punch right to the gut for you doing that. Yeah, so like I've completely taken the wind out of you. When it comes to that, you've taken basically 5 points of damage across them because one hit you with his strong arm, the other one hit you with his weak arm. So 3 points, 2 points, etc. So wind completely taken out of you, right? And you are being taken away in the direction that you had walked towards, at least in that general direction. Okay.
Tommy
Everybody else,
can't like
everybody else on the
because he's trying to catch his breath. He can't really fight, so he's almost like
exactly.
they have each arm, each leg, and he's just kind of being like
Yeah.
carried.
Okay. As that was happening, the gunshot went off. It just sounds like a gunshot to you. It's not like Tommy's gun had a particularly unique sound to it. Just a weapon has went off.
Tommy.
I recognize that
Tommy,
random
Tommy.
gunshot everywhere.
Yeah.
The Tommy
The
gun.
fact- Yay.
I probably would have hit my shot if it was a fucking Tommy gun. More bullets to throw at it.
The only thing that you would have recognized from the sound is that the fact that it missed. That's the only recognition.
Yeah, I recognize that whiff anywhere.
It like went off some wood, like some boxes, so you heard like the of like of a bullet hitting boxes.
So with that, you've heard this sound. It was a crowded dock. There's lots of noise happening everywhere. You've got these 3 burly guys up in your face. So you didn't specifically hear Tommy's voice because he was speaking to someone who's relatively close. He goes, "Of course you survived, you son of a bitch," or whatever he said. And the gunshots. So that would have happened. And even as he was talking, the gunshot happened first. So there would have been a bit of shouting, a bit of screaming. Some people who had ran from the plaza area. Some people are now running away from the dock area. There's a whole bunch of shit going down. It's a very, very active morning for everybody. And Mr. Asshole, Senor Asshole, and Monsieur Asshole are all still in front of the warehouse, encroaching onto Claude. And in particular, it's Monsieur Asshole that wants Tobin. I was taking a real, like, oof, you know. Rian, when you're looking at him, you can't quite tell. He's got a lot of scars and a lot of sort of mishap with his face over the years. You can't tell, does he like dogs or does he think Tobin would look tasty? You're getting a real, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of egos clashing here.
Brian's just gonna start lowly growling like Tobin.
And Monsieur Asshole is now looking at you, and once again, you can't quite tell if he wants to bring you now on board. Does he like the fact that you're growling, or is he annoyed by it? You can't quite tell. So,
One step closer, Mr. Asshole.
Monsieur Asshole. He's Mr. Asshole.
Just don't come near us. Stay back.
Seems sort of. Give me an intimidation roll, because you're clearly trying to change his behavior with the threat.
Oh my gosh. Dice, we need different dice. 6.
Beautiful.
Because it wasn't that threatening, he's probably more looking a bit confused now, because he's almost going, is she flirting with me? I don't know. Because I think if she was angry, you can see his thought process. Like, it's been a long time since I've had shore leave. Oh, okay, I could get into this. Yeah. You're tiefling, aren't you? Is that correct? No? Yeah? Dragonborn. Yeah. Dragonborn. He's basically going, and you can always kind of see him thinking, I've never been with a Dragonborn before. Yeah, it was such a bad threat that he's almost wondering where you're flirting. And Tobin's getting
ready on that at all.
Yeah. Tobin's super protective right now. Like, he's in front of you, he's growling, he's encroaching. Like, if anything, you're, like, he's kind of ready to pounce at these 3 large guys. What do you want to do about him?
Gonna tell him heal, and he'll stay beside me for right now and just be like, just wait, Tobin.
Release the beast.
He backs. He backs toward your leg, but it's not behind your leg, like cowardly. It's still kind of. It's almost like where they back up, and then all of a sudden your leg is behind their butt, because they're going towards you, but they don't know exactly where you are because they're more concerned with what's in front of them, the threat that's directly in front of them. Okay, Claude.
But
how's the stare down going?
He puts himself between Rian, Tobin, and Monsieur.
Yep. Okay.
Just
standing
daring him
ground?
to come closer. Yeah.
Oh, standing ground. Okay. The family asshole are all here, still holding their spot. They've got nowhere else they need to be right now.
So they didn't react to the gunshot.
Quick look, but you get the feel maybe Senor and Monsieur did, but Mister is like still like this guy right here. He's really, really annoying me right now.
Logon has your back.
Well, it doesn't look like we're getting anywhere, but it certainly seems like we're in the right place.
Yeah, I'm like, do we just take it to the next level? Fucking
go? Huh? You want to go? You look like a guy who wants to go. I don't know. It's like, do you think he looks a little bit scared to me? Little Marcel. Ooh, hey. Wouldn't survive a day on the ship. You ain't got no sea legs about you.
But Claude had
They can move.
he had an exceedingly shitty night, and he draws his sword
Logon knocked an arrow
and goes at him.
Okay, right. Perfect. Okay. Let's go with intimidation checks at the moment, unless you are deciding to outright attack right now.
Okay, I'll intimidate first. Might as well. I'm rolling a physical dice this time.
The door they're standing in front of is exactly one of those like clown cars that are just stuffed with just like guys are just gonna come rolling out of there.
Maybe.
Was that an intimidation check for Logon as well?
Yeah, so basically let Claude, you can do yours with advantage because you've got Logon supporting you.
Sure. Okay.
In your intimidation.
17.
7.
Okay. 7. That's okay. So Claude, yours was you rolled with advantage. Yes, you rolled twice.
Correct.
And took 17.
Yeah.
17, yeah. Okay. He is still staring you down. You ever encounter that someone who's almost too dumb to realize they should back off? So it's a bit of a stalemate with that, but you do sense a very, very slight backing off while almost trying to play it off. It's like, oh, look at this guy, look at this guy. You know, he's kind of slightly backing off to be beside his relatives, the asshole relatives. But yeah, so it's at a very it has had a little bit of one, but he's trying to play it off as if he's not actually, because he's not terrified of you, but he's like, okay, yeah. Let's just say you go about your business today and we go about our business today. I'm just here to play some cards, pick up a delivery, and leave. All I want to do.
Claude's fighting the urge to just attack. I think Rianne was right about finding Tommy, but I want to fuck this guy up. He's gonna keep his sword, I guess, and just he's gonna back up without taking his eyes off of them.
And at that point, he's going to give you a really slow clap. Goes, yeah, that's a really smart decision today. It's always nice to be around. It's nice to be around smart people who make wise decisions today. Yeah,
I'm always down to kill a pirate. You just let me know.
yeah. You take your friend in his little dress that has all those eyeballs on it, and just.
I don't know what to do here, Claude. I don't know what to do.
I know.
You guys do not want to meet Grandma asshole, I swear.
Oh, do we take the high road?
What does Rian say?
Do we take the high road?
Yeah.
Man, we really
Rian's,
beating around the bush.
Reached a point of bullshit that she can't handle anymore. Can I cast magic missile?
Just before, I'm just going to give you one more bit of info. One more bit of info. Okay. Monsieur Asshole has attracted the attention of at least one other person on the ship that he's looking towards. Definitely attracted somebody's attention, and he's beckoning other people over.
He's got reinforcements coming.
Is it Grandpa asshole?
Why don't you come at me, Sonny?
Do it, Rian. We're ready. Send it. That's me.
I'll give you a
I feel
warning.
like this is a warning. Oh. I don't know. I want to be hot-headed, but I think I want to protect Tobin more.
At that moment,
Hold on for a second.
Monsieur Asshole looks at you and just gives you a, yeah. we just a wee kissy face because he's kind of wondering, maybe you were flirting with him earlier on. It's like, yeah.
Okay. Rian's casting magic missile.
Yes. And on that note, with it being 8 o'clock, we are going into initiative at the start of the next session for the war on the docks.
Oh!
Thank you very much, guys. Oh man, that was so good.
You guys fell for the DM bait, not me. I wouldn't have fallen for as Tommy String jumps out of the chest.
Tommy's baiting the DM. That's a
The best part is Tommy's gonna start another fight incapacitated, basically.
Yes,
See what had happened was.
You can't catch a
At least he's
combat
not
break.
drunk this time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you one more bit of info. Just as we're about to kick off, you hear some more rumbling in the background. The ground begins to shake again. In the distance, you notice
Oh shit.
a very large explosion at the mountain that you were looking at before. The smoke is billowing. It's very clear there's lightning and there's molten lava traveling down the side. The smoke that's billowing up, though, it's not just randomly dispersing across the sky. For a moment, you can almost imagine, is there a tussle in the sky? Is there a conflict happening? This smoke and these clouds and this air and this fire is almost in conflict with each other, and there's almost an unseen struggle happening that you can tell, but on a monumental scale. So, as that's happening in the background, we'll see you for the next session for Tommy Knocked Out and a brawl at the dock. Let's go.
Burn it down.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna go say goodbye to stream. Also, if you guys can keep your character sheets up, I just need to get your stats real quick so I can update you guys' character sheets on my thing. So give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Alrighty, folks. That is it. Oh man, I really wish I would have hit my shot there. My backstory's coming around, and I wanted to do something about it, but it's exciting for next time that we know we're gonna be starting out with a fight. That is always a fun way to start. As always, I know I'm not very talkative with chat during D&D because I'm trying to give my attention to everybody else. Fluff, I saw the resub. Thank you very much for it. Victorious. But yes, thank you all very much for hanging out and watching. I will be back next week. I think Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but Tuesday we are finally starting The Last of Us Part 1. We're playing from start to finish next month on stream. So my Tuesday, Thursday streams are going to mostly all be Last of Us content as I play my way back through that game for the first time. I finished it all the way from start to finish one time. I restarted it maybe once or twice, but never played from start to finish again. And I never played the DLC. So that's all included in the game. So we're going to be checking that out starting next week. Have yourselves a very wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you all again next week. Bye-bye.